those that live here in so many ways, except for one. With the exception of our beloved San Antonio Spurs, professional sports teams have spurned San Antonio, bypassing us for other cities. No one knows that better than Nelson, right? However, there is a lot of hope and opportunity. The UTSA Roadrunners just won Conference USA Championship for the second time, as they say in sports, back-to-back. And now the Roadrunners are moving up to a bigger conference next season, and Coach Jeff Traylor told me personally, without a doubt, he expects to compete at the highest level next year. He also told me with the right support of the San Antonio community and the university, they can win at the highest level. This man has over 200 victories in his career and only 29 defeats. For 18 years, he has been a very successful coach. And if we do what we need to do to support the team, everyone, all of us in the community, business, government, and the university, we can have a winning team. They can win at the highest level. I believe him, and we should all believe him too. That is why we are taking steps to do so. That first step is announcing that the PM Group has agreed to fund the NIL compensation and secure the Conference USA MVP. And as I just found out this afternoon, not only did we win the game as the MVP, Conference USA named him the MVP for the 2022 season. Without further ado, let me introduce Frank Harris, the MVP quarterback of the 2022 Roadrunners and 2023.
So this is a very tough time. I took a lot of time praying and talking over my family, and I just think it's best for me to come back one more season at UTSA and lead them to the AAC. And I'm excited for it. Definitely appreciate all the support from all the fans. And I love the city of San Antonio, and it wasn't ready for me. I wasn't ready to leave yet, and I love all the support. I love everybody in the city, and I'm just blessed to be the quarterback at UTSA. Thank y'all once again, and I'll be back for my 7th year. Let's go.
Secondly, today we are officially announcing the creation of City Fans 210, a 501c nonprofit foundation dedicated to raise the funding necessary to elevate UTSA to the highest level of college football. That's right, the highest level. Any of you have watched Coach Traylor and his success and how he has been winning games over 2 years, winning back-to-back championships, there should be no doubt. The only thing we need to do is work together to bring those tools. There will be much more on this in the coming weeks, but I'd like to invite our guests here today to the podium for their insight on this initiative. Nelson?
Thanks. Well, first of all, Bob, thank you very much for the work that you've already done in helping this initiative and the donations that you have personally made. I must tell you, I've been to numerous football games over the years, but last year and this year, the games that I've seen are way beyond anything that I've seen before. And the reason why is the young man standing right behind us, Frank Harris. He's been the spark of that team. He's been the leader of that team. And we're so thankful that he is going to come back for one more season. We're honored to work with his father. His father's with the district attorney's office in Bexar County. And it's just a very wonderful, strong family, and Frank has just brought so much excitement to this city. And now with the changing of going to the American Athletic Conference, we're going to be playing some tougher teams, and Frank's going to be there with us, leading us in that effort. Almost every game, Traylor and I text each other, Coach Traylor, and keeping up with the trauma that he has to go through on the sidelines. I don't know how he does it on some of it. Frank, you must drive him a little nervous there, don't you think? He keeps calm. I'm not sure how Traylor's that calm. But they've gone through some very, very tough games, and we happen to be texting again after this last game, and the issue of where we're going, whether Frank's going to come back or not, and then with talking with Bob afterwards, and with Harvey Najan. By the way, he would be here today with us, but he's not able to be here today. Talking about what can we do and how can we help? How can we come together and support what's going to be needed under what we call the NIL today, which is the name, images, and likeness. That's spreading across the United States. The last number that I saw across the nation, 120 collectives have been started where the alumni and supporters of the football team come together, raise money, and then able to help some of the players with the NIL. So we would be another one right here among the 120 and probably much more starting every day. Bob, like I stated, he has already given money, a substantial amount of money, to help it with the team. And now with the starting the nonprofits and a board that would be formed for that to be able to raise the money in the community. So we're here to tell Frank Harris and his colleagues and his players that we're going to be supportive and that this community is going to raise out once we get all of the details finished on your 501c3, and we're going to start raising money to help it. Now forget the NFL. We don't need them. We've got our team right here, right here, right here. And we've got more excitement in college football than you'll ever see in the NFL. And so we are privileged, all of us are privileged, to be able to step up and help this exciting team and help us move to the next level. And I know that we'll be successful in doing that. Judge Sakai will be coming in to take my place as county judge in the next few months. And then John Montford's with us here also. I might point out John Montford is a former chancellor of Texas Tech. And I remember when the first debate started, 10, 15 years ago, about UTSA having a football team, there were a lot of people that were very reluctant about it. But as former chairman and former chancellor of Texas Tech, he understood what college football means, not only to the students that are in the school, but also to the greater community. So both these gentlemen are going to be helping us. And Judge Sakai, would you come up and say a few words?
Well, first and foremost, let me just say thank you to the people who have made this happen. And Frank Harris, thank you for coming back. As I indicated, I also know his daddy, Darrell Harris, longtime assistant DA and wonderful prosecutor, strong, ethical, and he helps defend and support the victims of Bexar County. And so I'm proud to know this family and the stock that comes out of that Harris family. Also want to say thank you to Bob Wills. Bob, you're there as, I assume, the #1 supporter for UTSA athletics and the 210 program.
Not for long. There's a lot of other bigger fish.
All right. I know you're going to work on it, and I appreciate obviously the people the coaches, the players, the supporters, the boosters, the band, everybody that is making UTSA athletics such a great program. I also want to say thank you to Judge Nelson Wolff. Obviously, he's been our county judge, for the last 20 years, and he's laid a foundation as to why we're here today. His vision, his strength of character, his drive has put us on the map, so to speak. And this is just another example of what Judge Nelson Wolff has done for Bexar County. And I just want to say thank you, and I think we should all recognize that with a round of applause. Now, I'm Bexar County-elect Peter Sakai, and I was your judge there in the courts for the children and families for 26 years. And so I campaigned on children and families, so I want to state for the record that I'm here in behalf of that campaign promise. You say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, I want to support higher ed. I want to support UTSA. I want to support Texas A&M San Antonio. I want to support our private schools, Trinity, Incarnate Word, Our Lady of the Lake. I want to support our Alamo College District. And I've been real proud to make sure that especially our foster children are getting the support in our college system here in Bexar County, and we've got an innovative program for those kids. And I see higher education, especially athletics, coming together and giving people an opportunity to succeed. I'm so proud of Frank Harris staying local. You could have gone off and for the big lights, the big cities, but you stayed here and helped make San Antonio, and I'm hoping that, Frank, you and all your athletes there at UTSA encourage the top D1 athletes here that we can be a national champion here in San Antonio. And that's why, as your next county judge, I'm here to make a commitment to the City Fan 210 and to UTSA and the program, and to applaud Frank Harris for his decision to continue his education, to continue to make UTSA athletics a winning program. And as I recall, Frank, your coach is, what's that triangle of toughness? Yes, sir. Help me understand that.
Triangle of toughness.
Triangle of toughness, and what are the three parts of the triangle?
On offense, you're going to run the football. Defense is going to be the most physical. And then special teams are going to be the most dominant.
There you go. And so I want to tell the employees at Bexar County, Jessica is going to bring that triangle of toughness to Bexar County. We're going to make Bexar County #1. Thank you, Nelson Wolff. Thank you, Senator John Mofford, for your long public service. And I want to introduce the one, the only, Senator John Mofford.
Thank you, Judge. I got a call from Nelson to be over here, and I'm here. I'm kind of schizophrenic about football because I graduated from UT Austin. I was chancellor of Texas Tech. But Debbie and I decided to make our home in San Antonio, and we've been a part of the business community here. By the way, I remember one time Tech beat A&M, and I raised $12 million that day. So the point I want to make, I was so happy and proud of San Antonio for the championship game. We had over 41,000 people help fill the Alamo Dome, and what an incredible experience. We had gridlock on every major highway going into downtown. Well, that's good gridlock. And it's all about the student experience at UTSA. And think about how exciting that has been in watching this program develop, particularly under Coach Jeff Traylor. And think about what a great experience it is for the students, not only to get the best academic preparation for their lives, but also to have an enjoyable experience in attending a major university. The reason I'm here, I want to encourage the San Antonio business community, those of us in business that have decided to make San Antonio our home, in Bexar County. I want to encourage you in the strongest words possible to get behind this program and get behind it financially, because we can be competitive. We're just as good as, in fact, I think we're a little better in Austin and Houston and all those places.
What about Lubbock? What about Lubbock?
Well, Lubbock's okay. I mean, I'll tell you, recruiting to Lubbock is not like recruiting to the French Riviera, so you got a better deal here. But anyway, I really challenge the San Antonio business community to get behind this program, because it has brought a new level of excitement to our community, and we're going to put everything we can into this initiative. So, go Roadrunners.
I'm going to take questions in just a second. But when I said a few minutes ago that Jeff Traylor said he could win in any level, let me give you an example of that just this year. So, Alabama, and we know how many titles they've won in the last 10 years, a lot of them. I think it's about 6 or 7 somewhere, national titles. They scored 20 points against UT and won. This man and his team scored 20 points against Texas. They came out on the wrong side of it, had some injuries, had some tough battles, but they fought notably, and we can trust and feel very proud in this team. So don't, for any reason, don't think that Jeff Traylor, when he says we can be #1, we can climb the highest mountain, I guess I drank the Kool-Aid, but the evidence is there for everyone to decide. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. So I'd like to open it up for questions for anybody up here on the podium.
I just think it was the best opportunity for me, for the program and for the city. I prayed about it, thought about it, and like I said, I just think it was best for me just to come out for one more season and like go into AAC and try to win it over there as well.
Other questions? Well, there has to, under NIL rules, there has to be a mechanism, a foundation. The university cannot do this. They're prohibited. So we're going to ask the community to support, and it'll be in about 3.5 weeks, sometime just after the new year. We'll have the foundation set up. We'll have our federal tax ID number. We'll have our bylaws. We'll be setting up all our board and everything, and we'll move forward. And you'll probably see another press conference, and we'll talk about how we're ready to go. We'll tell everybody how they can help. I'm sure this gentleman, this gentleman, this gentleman, Harvey, and a lot of other folks are going to be making some phone calls, as well as asking the citizens of our community, UTSA Roadrunner fans, to make a contribution, and let's turn this program around. Because today is Wednesday. Even if he was allowed by law to be here, Coach Traylor, who has been working his tail off yesterday and today, he is recruiting, trying to sign players. There are players that, because of Frank's accomplishments and why we wanted to get this announcement out there to help with recruitment, we need to have the confidence, the coach has to have that confidence that the MVP is coming back. He's our Tom Brady. He is our Tom Brady. He is the GOAT. So that's why. Well, it's a little early, but we know, a year we have to raise about $5 million. There's a lot of players. I mean, you all have seen what SMU did. SMU guaranteed every player, 110 or 130 players, $26,000 each, and then there's going to be some of the big-time players they recruit out there that, the boosters will bring more money to the table and get them signed. It's a bidding war. And I'll tell you, if you think that we're at a handicap, as Jeff and I talked about, we're not at a handicap to the bigger schools. Imagine if you are a second or third string player, okay? And you're at Alabama or Texas, Lubbock, Oklahoma, and you're second or third, but you're just as good as the guy, just maybe right below the guy at the top. You just need playing time. If you want to get into the NFL, you need playing time. And so you're going to, those of you in the sports world and all of our reporters here today, the transfer portal of the NCAA has got thousands of kids coming into it. And they're going to be looking to grab them. And there's kids that have already called them. I'm not going to name a certain university that has a big running back that already said he'd like to come to San Antonio, and he told Coach what he'd like to see happen. So we have to get our NIL foundation going so that we can make it happen. Other questions? If not, Frank, Judge Sakai, our illustrious Bexar County judge, and Peter, you said 20 years, but did you forget all those years he served as mayor too of San Antonio?
Got to put that in.
Yeah, the facts are the facts. Anyways, and of course, thank you, John Mont, for coming out. So, Clarissa will start queuing people up for the one-on-one interviews, and we'll get it rolling. Some hats, guys, to put on? Let's, yeah. Oh, my head's too.
So are you going to work on a master's or anything? I'm a master's right now. Oh, you're in it now?
Okay.
And
Public administration.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. mistake.
Ok, esta madre estaba en off. Cuando le di en on, detectó todo.
This way? Okay. You want to start left to right questions? Oh, sorry, let me go.
Check, 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 check.